Banana breakdown here, and today we're swapping our 20-sided dice for something a bit different. If you've ever thought, what if my role-playing game let me be a steampunk astronaut cowboy without needing a 300-page rulebook, then stick around. And don't worry, I'll still be making just as many D&D videos as before. Can't let those goblins have all the fun. Welcome to the first episode of my new series, where I'll be teaching you everything you need to know about the Fate role-playing game. Whether you're completely new or have some experience, this series will guide you through the rules, character creation, and the core mechanics of the game. No prior knowledge is required, just bring your curiosity, and by the end, you'll be ready to jump into your own Fate adventures. But before we start, here's what we'll cover today, so you know exactly where we're headed. So you might be wondering, what the Fate is Fate? Excellent question. FATE stands for, well, actually, it doesn't stand for anything. It's just FATE. Think of it as destiny, but with more dice and fewer Greek tragedies. It's a tabletop role-playing game system created by Evil Hat Productions. Yes, Evil Hat, because Nefarious Fedora was apparently too much. Released back in 2013, Fate Core is the latest iteration of the system, building upon earlier versions like Fate 2.0 and Spirit of the Century. But if you're the sort who prefers your role-playing games like your coffee, quick and energizing, there's also Fate Accelerated, or FAE for short. It's the leaner, meaner version, designed to get you playing faster than you can say, roll for initiative. Both versions share the same core mechanics, so you're not missing out on any of the fun, chaos, or opportunities to make questionable life choices. Fate Core offers a more detailed framework for those who enjoy depth and customization, while Fate Accelerated streamlines the process, making it perfect for quick sessions or introducing new players to the system. Whether you prefer the comprehensive approach of Fate Core or the swift simplicity of Fate Accelerated, both versions will allow you to craft incredible stories and unforgettable characters without the need for exhaustive rulebooks. Fate is all about narrative-driven gameplay. Think of it as D&D's artsy cousin who went to drama school and now insists on calling football theatre of dreams. In Fate, the story takes centre stage, and the rules are more like guidelines. It's a game where the question isn't, can I do this? But, how creatively can I justify doing this? Player agency is a big deal here. You're not just playing a character, you're helping to shape the world around you. It's collaborative storytelling at its finest, or at least its most chaotic. The Game Master, or GM, isn't an adversary, but a co-author in your collective tale. So, less, you enter a dungeon and fight a dragon, and more, let's create a world where dragons might just be misunderstood poets with a hoarding problem. Now, you might be thinking, that's all well and good, but why should I bother? Well, if you've ever wanted to play a game set in a steampunk Victorian London where you're all sentient clockwork cats solving mysteries, Fate can handle that. Its flexibility allows for any genre, fantasy, sci-fi, noir, you name it. Plus, the rules are, shall we say, less intense than some other systems. You won't need a degree in quantum mechanics to figure out how to roll for initiative. In fact, there isn't even a traditional initiative order. It's all about what makes sense for the story. So you spend less time calculating modifiers and more time doing what you came to do, telling an epic story and making questionable decisions. Alright, let's get into the nuts and bolts, or should I say, the aspects and fate points of the system. Aspects. First up, aspects. These are phrases that describe significant features of your character or the world. Think of them as personality traits, backgrounds, or catchy one-liners that have a mechanical impact. They're the universe's way of saying, this is important. For example, your character might have the high concept, rogue archaeologist, with a fear of snakes. Original, I know. Your trouble aspect could be, always in debt to the wrong people. These aspects can be invoked to give you bonuses, or compelled to create complications. It's like your character's personal theme music that sometimes attracts unwanted attention. Fate points. Next, fate points. These are your currency for influencing the story. Want to re-roll that disastrous attempt at defusing a bomb? Spend a fate point. Want to declare that you just so happen to know the guard at the gate? Fate point. They're like bribes for the cosmos, legal ones, mind you. In Fate Core, your character's abilities are defined by skills like athletics, deceive, or lore. Stunts are special tricks or abilities that give you an edge in specific situations. For example, because I am a master of disguise, I get +2 when I cleverly create advantages with deceive. Yes, you can word them like that. In fact, it's encouraged. Approaches. Fate Accelerated. Now, Fate Accelerated simplifies things by using approaches instead of skills. Approaches describe how you do something rather than what you do. The 6 approaches are careful, clever, flashy, forceful, quick, sneaky. So instead of saying you're using your stealth skill to sneak past a guard, you'd say you're being sneaky. It's less about the specific skill, and more about your character's style. The ladder. Fate uses something called the ladder, a scale that rates the difficulty of tasks and your skill levels. It goes from terrible to legendary, kind of like my cooking skills, but without the fire department on speed dial. Fate Core and Fate Accelerated. Think of them as 2 different routes to the same destination. One's a scenic drive with lots of stops, and the other's the express lane. Fate Core offers a comprehensive framework that's perfect for players who enjoy deep customization and detailed mechanics. It provides extensive guidelines for everything from character creation to complex narrative techniques. If you're the kind of person who likes to fine-tune every aspect of your character and story, Fate Core is your jam. On the flip side, Fate Accelerated simplifies things without sacrificing the core essence of Fate. It streamlines character creation, reduces the number of mechanical bits, and focuses on a more narrative-driven approach. This makes it ideal for one-shots, beginner groups, or sessions where you want to jump straight into the action without wading through pages of rules. Both versions maintain the same foundational mechanics, aspects, fate points, and the ladder, so learning one makes it easy to switch to the other if your group's needs change. Whether you prefer the robust detail of Fate Core or the swift simplicity of Fate Accelerated, Fate has you covered. Have you tried both Fate Core and Fate Accelerated? Let me know in the comments which one you prefer and why. Personally, I switch between them like a wizard changes robes, depends on the occasion. What to expect in this series? So, what's the game plan for this series? Here's my plan. Each episode will build on the last, so by the end, you'll be ready to jump into your own Fate adventure. And yes, we'll dedicate an entire episode to character creation, because who doesn't love making imaginary friends? Before we wrap up, here are some quick tips if you're thinking about giving Fate a try. Keep an open mind. Fate is different from more rigid systems. Embrace the flexibility. It might feel odd at first, but it's liberating once you get the hang of it. Collaborate. Work with your GM and fellow players when creating your characters and the world. The more you invest in the story, the more rewarding the experience. Focus on the narrative. Remember, the story comes first. Don't get too hung up on mechanics. Think about what would make for the most interesting tale. Choose the right version. Consider your group's preferences. If you're planning a long campaign with intricate plots, Fate Core's detailed mechanics might be your best bet. If you want to dive straight into the action, Fate Accelerated is perfect. So there you have it, a whirlwind tour of what Fate is all about. If you're looking for a game that prioritizes storytelling, offers unparalleled flexibility, and lets you play as that time-traveling detective wizard you've always dreamed of, then Fate might just be your new favorite RPG. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you won't miss the next episode of our series. If you have any questions or wild character ideas, like a sentient banana leading a rebellion, drop them in the comments below. I'd love to hear them. Until next time, banana breakdown out.